Remember to subscribe so you don't miss out on more awesome content. Time to do a Rebels recap. What's up, everybody? Yesterday, Star Wars Rebels just paid the biggest tribute to all Clone Wars fans by making the final battle of the Clone Wars. Holy shit, it was great. So let's recap this. So the episode kicks off with Kanan, Ezra, Rex, Zeb, and Chopper. And is Chopper part of the crew technically? Bet your ass he is, you droid racist. They land on Agamar trying to get proton torpedoes, supplies, whatever, from a downed Republic warship. They start talking a little bit about the Clone Wars, and Ezra has an obvious fascination with the Clone Wars, having never been in it, only hearing stories. But little do they know, those battle droids on the Republic warship are armed and fully operational. And much to the surprise of Kanan, Ezra, and Rex, they get captured in a ray shield and taken to a working battle commander from the Clone Wars. So after being captured in the ray shield, they get taken to a super tactical droid named Kalani. Beautiful name, by the way. And Kalani tells them that basically he believed Order 66 was a trick to have the droids shut down. So he prevented the shutdown command, so that's why they're all still operative over there. And Rex tells Kalani that the war is over, and Kalani wants to end the war on his terms, with the Separatists winning on his terms. So Kalani, the super tactical droid, wants to see who had the better tactics in the Clone Wars, and who would really win the Clone Wars if it was down to them. Rex doesn't want to, Kanan doesn't want to, but Ezra jumps at the chance to, and Kanan admits that maybe playing along will be easier than trying to fight their way out of the situation they're in. So they agree to do it, and Kalani tells them that they need to pull off a Jedi rescue situation. And Zeb is the hostage since there were no Lasats in the Clone Wars. So it's like one big chess game, except with a lot more killing. Meanwhile, Chopper's over there trying to find a shuttle, and he calls a distress signal to Hera and Sabine and the rest of the Ghost crew, who are being shot at by Imperials. Unluckily for them, the Imperials intercept Chopper's communication and now know where Ezra and Kanan and the rest of them are on Agamar. Meanwhile, back on Agamar, Rex, Kanan, and Ezra are getting ready to pull off their little hostage situation. And they let Rex take the lead because of his battle experience. But thinking that they were going to go in with a surprise, turns out Kalani has a full battalion of battle droids, and they just start marching out of the hangar. And luckily, Rex's battle experience and Kanan's knowledge of the Clone Wars help them out a little bit, and they set up the sword and shield in which the Jedi block, and Rex clears out all the droids. So once they make it back in the hangar, Kalani sends a bunch of destroyer droids out at them. Ooh, that was so fun seeing the destroyer droids. And up on the catwalks, which basically makes them stuck. So Ezra goes and basically said he's going to use the Force to knock the crane into the catwalk, knocking them all down. And in the middle of that, Chopper interrupts Ezra, basically showing him he found a shuttle. Man, this little droid's trying to leave without Zeb. How are you going to leave your crew behind? Come on, little droid. Meanwhile, Rex takes a shot, but he's fine. Clone War armor, he's good. He takes a shot. Ezra manages to finally do the thing with the crane, knock down the catwalk, get the destroyer droids, and they progress down the hall past the hangar towards Zeb. In the hallway, they fight a couple destroyer droids, making them realize that the droids are getting old. They're malfunctioning. So they use that to their advantage and press on to go rescue Zeb. When they get there, Kalani says that they didn't win the fight. And Ezra even points out if the battle droids weren't malfunctioning, that they would have lost that fight. So even Ezra admits it. But Ezra doesn't say that they lost. And he points out the most freaking obvious yet never asked question in the Star Wars universe. He says, if the Republic clones were decommissioned and the Separatist droids were shut down, who really won the Clone Wars? And they both think about it, and Zeb turns and says, the Empire. Because the Empire's right outside their window arriving to go and take the rebels. Kalani sends out a group of battle droids to go meet the stormtroopers, who completely ignore the battle droids and just talk about how outdated they are, and then shoot them in the face. That was funny. the Empire drops off 2 AT-ATs and 2 AT-DPs to basically corner the rebels. And Ezra basically says that now the droids and them have to work together now. Kalani accepts Ezra's logic. Rex isn't too happy about that, obviously. The Separatists were fighting the tyranny of the Republic. So in their mind, the Republic now turned into the Empire and still is waging tyranny. That made sense to Kalani. So they start planning to defeat the AT-ATs. And they come up with a plan that involves rolling the proton torpedoes that they were there to get in front of the walker's feet. And Ezra and Kanan will redirect the droid's fire into the proton bombs, blowing up the bombs at the walker's feet, thereby destroying it, letting them take the shuttles to escape. So of course the plan works, and they all escape, save for one shuttle full of battle droids. And Kalani calls them over the holo and basically says that it wasn't a victory, and Rex says, yeah, it was a victory. So Rex is now satisfied with the ending to the Clone Wars. And then after Rex tells Ezra that he's the one who really ended the Clone Wars by finding the middle ground, something the Galactic Senate couldn't do the entire period of the Clone Wars. Kalani says that he does not want to join the Rebels, so he'll be parting ways because the Rebels only have a 1% chance of defeating the Empire, even though every droid that states the odds is always wrong in Star Wars. You should know that by now. The Ghost is orbiting already, ready to pick up the team. They don't need the pickup, though, because obviously they still have the shuttle. They didn't get the bombs, but I mean, they had an experience, and everyone got a tribute, and everyone was happy. Now on to the review portion of the episode. And I would say the episode, while I think I had a better love for Thrawn, as much as I love the Clone Wars, this was a great tribute. It had the music and everything when they were fighting the droids. It's just, the episode was normal to me. It was normal besides the little added bonus of it being a nice little Clone Wars tribute. The time spent fighting the droids wasn't really that long, though. Because Rebels only does the anthology episodes basically every time, which I hate. If you've seen my other reviews or whatever, I hate Rebels anthology thing. I wish they would do continuous arcs or something. The Clone Wars could have gotten... It would have been better if the Clone Wars got a bigger send-off, I guess. But this did definitely provide closure for Rex and about the Clone Wars, and kind of probably a little bit of for Kanan as well. So I will say it was good on that aspect. And the music, like I said, the music was good. They had the Clone Wars music and everything. So I mean, it's a pretty decent tribute, even though it still turned out to be Empire-ish at the end of it. Yeah, well, again, I'd call this a filler episode, though, because it really didn't lend anything to the plot. Actually, it's been balanced. It's been like 3 and 3, I think. So, but, yeah, so let me know what your thoughts on it was, and do you want the Clone Wars to come back? I know everyone does. But check that out on the discussion video, because that's actually what the discussion video is going to be about. Rebels versus Clone Wars. And I'll see you guys later.